women don't need to be tough, disrespectful to succeed. I think that to build partnerships, we have a capacity to listen. Yes, don't be tough. Just be who you are, and no apologies. We are different. We have a different approach. We are mothers, sisters, spouses. I joke about it. It's still a dark suit world in the General Assembly, in the meeting rooms. But I think that women are very well appreciated. I never had any issue with male colleagues negotiating. But as for any human being, I think respect and openness are the basis.
I like very much no apologies for who you are. Welcome to Sustainable Futures with Daniela Bas, where innovation meets impact. Join me every first and the third Saturday at 10 a.m. Central European Time for engaging conversations with visionaries reshaping industries like fashion, tech, tourism, sports, and more through social fairness and sustainability. As a global leader and change maker, I share fresh insights and actionable ideas to inspire meaningful change and drive results. Tune in, subscribe, and help shape a brighter, sustainable future. Good morning, everyone, in whichever part of the world you are. Today, I have a very special guest with me, Her Excellency Ambassador Isabelle Picco of the Principality of Monaco, whom I deeply respect from our years at the United Nations. And with her, I shall explore the leadership choices, global shifts, sport, and practical insights that shape a more equitable, peaceful world. Good morning to you, Madame.
Good morning, Daniela. Such a pleasure for me also to reconnect through sport.
Yes. So I have a jolly question for you. If you allow me, we just, deep dive in our conversation. As a diplomat, I have seen you navigate international negotiations with both firmness and empathy. What is one secret ingredient you would share with women in global leadership roles, something that helps them shape systems rather than simply adapt to them?
Well, I think that when you work in diplomacy, the most important thing is respect and keep an open mind, and then also stay true to your values and firm, but you need also some space to negotiate and to compromise. But yes, stay true to your beliefs, to your values, respect international law, and be open.
Thank you so much, Madame Ambassador Isabelle Picco. She is a seasoned voice at the United Nations in New York, representing, as I said, the permanent mission of Monaco, blends legal precision with a rare diplomatic warmth. A champion of oceans, equity, and the transformative power of sport. And she has steered global debates from maritime law to peaceful building, and her leadership style, quietly firm yet deeply human, has earned global respect. And this episode unveils not only the diplomat, but the woman behind decades of strategic impact. So, Isabelle, across your years at the United Nations, what guiding principles and principle has shaped your approach to diplomacy, and how has it influenced the way you navigate complex global negotiations?
Well, first of all, I'm very lucky to be representing the Principality of Monaco, because Prince Albert II travels the world, loves to meet new people, and is very firm in his belief that the earth needs to be respected, and as an Olympian, his values are indestructible. So for us, as a small country and under his leadership, we need to stay open, as I said before, and also to work hard. Even if the majority of the UN membership are small states, Monaco joined only, I would say, 32 years ago. We are open to work with everybody, and we know that nothing can be achieved if we don't build partnerships. So as I said before, keep an open mind, be firm on your principle, and be ready to work hard and compromise.
You're talking to my heart. You're talking, sorry, about SDG 17 as well, partnerships and cooperation. And I am devoting, a series of episodes to women in leadership. And I think that you are a top representative. Now, as co-chair of the group of Friends of Sport for Development and Peace at the UN in New York City, and not only, you well know that sport has become a diplomatic tool. It was already in the past, but now even more than before. So when you think about sport as a peace accelerator, which moments or moment makes you think, yes, this is why we do this? And how could athletes carry that message to Milano Cortina 2026 Paralympics and Olympics in Italy, or those that are going to be hosted in Los Angeles in 2028?
Well, the power of sport has been incremental, as you mentioned before. When Monaco joined the UN in 1993, it was the year of the new item in the agenda of the General Assembly. And so it was the Olympic truce. Then the following year, we have the International Year of Sport. And this is very, very important because it brought a special advisor and a group of friends started at that moment. So after that, I think that the turning point was really the adoption of Agenda 2030, because it was mentioned in the political declaration. So it gave the group of friends some leverage to really ask not only the UN Secretariat and the Secretary General the mandate to do more through sport, but also the specialized agency. And we are an intergovernmental body. So I know that it may seem complicated, but, our job at the UN is to build across the multilateral system some norms. We don't go into details because this belongs to either specialized agency like UNESCO or to the Federation, to the IOC. The IOC becoming an observer also in 2009 brought an additional impact, obviously, and also memorandum of understanding that they have signed with the UN system really embodies that strength through sport. So yes, I think that the impact also whenever, and you have been witnessing that when you were as a director in UNDESA, every time we hosted a group of friend meeting with NGOs. What is wonderful is to witness how many young people became educated through a scholarship in sport. The athletes, that's a very powerful message. Most of them have sacrificed their youth to train and to compete, and they are more listened than the politicians. So they are amazing ambassadors for education, respect, so I think this is, they have an amazing role to play. This is also why every time we can and we must, years ago in the Commission of the Status of Women, we put some mention to protect them from harassment. Social medias, unfortunately, have a side effect of exposing those people who dare to speak out. But they know they have a very powerful voice, and we rely on them. They are UN ambassadors. So yes, it's the power is there.
So this is why you do this, and this is what the kind of message athletes could carry to the Milano Cortina in Italy Paralympics and Olympics, and also to those in Los Angeles in 2028. It's a very powerful message.
Yes.
Now, when it comes to these recent years, and I'm thinking about the 2025 Doha Declaration that discussed the social development issues and how they can be sustainable. Well, in this declaration, highlights were about poverty reduction, decent work, social protection, and inclusion.
It's and for people who want to double check, it's on paragraph 31J and 35B. So the first one is advancing the role of culture as well as sport in contributing to social integration and social cohesion. So this is very important. Also, it talks about public investment. And then, expanding inclusive access to technical and vocational education and training, including in STEM and physical education and sports. So, it is there. And I have to say that we have, Monaco and Qatar, because we are the co-chair. We have proposed over the years a lot of language in different meetings. But this time, I have to say it was quite easy and very well supported. So we were very satisfied, and we had also side events in Doha, where sport was the focus. So yes, it's there, and every time we can, if the subject is appropriate, we propose language. And I think that the fact that so many delegation propose International Day, basketball, bicycle, football, so soccer, so it shows that delegations understand that they can harness a lot of political will through that soft power of sport.
For those who are not familiar with the diplomatic or UN bureaucracy, can you explain what to add language means?
So, as I said, we are an intergovernmental body. We represent our governments. Okay, so what we do is that we adopt resolutions. We prepare political declaration to be adopted by head of state and government for summits. So to add language is to propose the inclusion on sport of whatever declaration is being negotiated. So it's a strong message.
Indeed, it is. So thank you for explaining it. Now, could you share maybe one concrete example or policy approach where sport could realistically support the priorities you just mentioned that are included in the Doha Declaration at national level, for instance?
Well, I think that first of all, education is a key to everything. So having physical education in programs at school, this is very important. It's I think this is a base of everything, to instill into young people norms to be respected, the teamwork, and also health. Through the 17 SDGs, so many can be related to sport. Even the ocean. Look at the race around the world. Those racers embark devices to get some data from ocean acidification to pollution to plastic to climate. So yes, those are all concrete examples where the sport community can contribute to the goals of the United Nations.
So, Isabelle, for companies, private sector listening to us, what's, in your view, one practical way that the private sector could engage with sport for development in a way that is credible, scalable, and maybe aligned with these social goals you just mentioned?
Well, I think they already do, because by being partners of major sports events, they do have a big responsibility. Because I think that there is a lot of money involved through advertising for everything. So I think to carry those values of the SDGs, for them, it shows a social impact. So, we see the resolution this year, the Olympic Truth, for the Winter Games. Italy did an amazing job, because I don't believe that any Winter Games resolution, maybe the one for Torino before, but has had such a high number of co-sponsors. And they work with the private sector. The ecosystem, as we call it, of sport, has a lot of both federation, international organization, and also private sector. You see it in all the advertising. from tennis to skiing, they are everywhere. They collect data. So it's the partnerships are essential, and they are already contributing. But what you can do is contribute to build stadiums, to make sure that education and sport is part of the education curriculum. Yes, education.
So talking about education, even becoming a leader, although it can be in something that we have ingrained in us, but it is something also leadership that can be somehow practiced and then improved. So what is one common assumption about women in leadership that you have seen proven wrong? And can you share a moment that showed why women's leadership really makes a difference?
Well, we are still a minority of permanent representative at the UN, but I think that women don't need to be tough, disrespectful to succeed. I think that to build partnerships, we have a capacity to listen, and yes, don't be tough. To just be who you are. And no apologies. We are different. We have a different approach. We are mothers, sisters, spouses. So yes, it's still I joke about it. It's still a dark suit world in the General Assembly, in the meeting rooms. But I think that women are very well appreciated. I never had any issue with male colleagues negotiating. But, as for any human being, I think respect and openness are the basis.
I like very much no apologies for who you are. So if the international system had to rethink leadership from zero, then which traditional leadership habit would you eliminate entirely? And what new behavior would you put at the center instead?
Well, it's difficult to think about eliminating something, because you learn as you go, and the world evolves around you. And as I said, to stay open is because we are 193, and we have responsibilities toward we the people. So eliminating anything, I think it would be very preemptuous from my. I would say to be firm on your values, and don't make promises that cannot be sustained. It's like small children in a certain way. If you speak simple and the truth, people understand. And I think that too many times we want to please the opposite side, and it's not going to work. So that's why I think it's the honesty and a very pragmatic approach. Maybe it's because I'm coming from a small European country, I don't know, but yes, but we are all different, and this is what enrich us. That's why culture and sport are so important in today's world, where there are so many tensions, because we have to think about what can unite us instead of dividing us. So yes, it's but eliminating that would be think of really anything. Don't lie. That's the only thing.
Oh, that's so true. Maybe personally, I would eliminate things that are related to inequalities, and to reach the level where we all respect each other from the dignity perspective. But that's my personal feeling.
No, but these are values that we have to defend. These are our everyday job to fight for equality, for inclusivity, for social progress. So those are values that are at the core of Agenda 2030.
Now, let's move to the second part of our conversation. Let's go to the past. Once upon a time, before the diplomatic titles and global mandates, what early experience shaped your understanding of justice and peace? We just mentioned peace, and quietly direct you toward the United Nations.
Well, I studied law and international law. Again, coming from a small country, you have our parents. I have an older sister, and our parents really instilled of us the notion to serve, to respect others, and to work hard. So once I discovered international law, what was appealing is that idea that through rules that are in the treaties, in the Charter of the United Nations, we can contribute to peace, to multilateral diplomacy, and this is what was really appealing to me. So I was extremely lucky after starting to work in the government in Monaco to come to New York to open the mission with the first ambassador, and years later to become the head of mission myself. So again, it's all about education, and education create opportunities.
And yet in all of this, you managed also to get married, to become a mother, to spend time with your family.
Sometimes I wish I had spent much more time, I miss some graduations because I had to work. So yes, it's not easy to multitask, because at the end of the day, you're always the spouse and the mother. And this is, and I have a very supportive husband. So it's, but you're far away from your family. New York is far away from Monaco, so sacrifices have to be made. But those are worth the satisfaction of contributing.
Let's move to the present. What is the one challenge in today's multilateral landscape that keeps you intellectually alert, and the one that keeps you personally hopeful?
Okay, so alert, we have to really keep our sense of community, our common humanity, and hopeful, because last year we adopted the Pact for the Future, and again, sport is there. So, for better or worse, we keep negotiating and talking to one another, and being able to adopt text to lead the international discussion. So this is hopeful, but it's not easy. It's not easy.
So let's now think in terms of vision and dreams. So if you were 20 years old in 2071, this is a question I ask all my guests. Well,
Wow.
what kind of world would you hope to inherit? And what decision today could actually make that world possible?
Well, I don't have a crystal ball, but surely if that generation would be probably, this is what I wish for that generation, that they thank us for fighting for peace, for building a better world for all, for saving the planet from the loss of biodiversity on land and in the ocean, to regulate the climate. I think, Secretary General Ban Ki-moon once said that we may have a plan B, but we don't have a planet B. So if those young people in 2071 would look back and say, wow, if they hadn't taken the decisions they took, it would be a disaster. So, we work every day trying to preserve peace, because since the United Nations has been established, the world has lived mainly in peace. That doesn't mean that there are no conflicts and no. It's terrible, because there are many conflicts in different parts of the world, but there haven't been any major global conflict, and this is what we have to avoid at all costs. So if those young people would say, what if they hadn't taken those decisions at the moment they did? So that would be amazing. That means that what we are doing now is going to be successful. So I of course I wish that for them.
The more we spread this kind of messages of tolerance and understanding, the more we have the possibility to achieve this goal for the next generations to come. We are almost at the closing of our fantastic conversation. And I would like to ask you a question, another one. If you could leave our listeners with the one practice that creates more peace, since we talk about peace, inclusion, equity in their everyday lives, what would it be? One thing they can practice.
There is one word that sounds a little bit old-fashioned, but I think that it can become a common force across cultures and countries. It's compassion. Because when you are compassionate, it goes one step further from empathy. So in your everyday life, if you see somebody who needs help, and that you don't only acknowledge that person, but take action to alleviate that suffering, that difficulties, whatever it is, I think we are already mentally in the right path. But if we don't dream, we don't have goals, and we are not pushing hard enough to make changes. So yes, it's when you are coming from a country like Monaco, where you have access to education, healthcare, you live in a very safe environment, and the air is clean. You have access to clean water, sanitation. So, what can you hope for? And this is what we need to achieve for the world: access to fresh water, sanitation, and most importantly, education for all.
Madame Picco, I want to thank you so much for this time you spent with us. You were very generous. I thank you very much, Isabelle.
We need all to walk the talk.
Exactly. And you said this is a big dream. I don't think it's a big dream. I mean, maybe it is a big dream, but there is a wonderful difference. And I want to close with this hope, which can become a reality. And that's exactly what I want to say. Dreams can become a reality. Illusions cannot. So let's keep dreaming, because we can make it happen. Thank you so much, Isabelle. Thanks again,
Daniela.
to Your Excellency. And I hope to see you soon again. Who knows, maybe New York or somewhere else. In Italy,
maybe in Milano.
In Milano, that would be great. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Daniela. Goodbye.
As I wrap up this episode, my heartfelt gratitude to today's guest and to all of you. Join me for the next episode as we delve deeper with special guests, uncovering thought-provoking insights and actionable steps, paving the way for a brighter, inclusive, sustainable tomorrow. Thanks also to Damian Morton, music, and Maria Cortez Gagliano, social media. Don't miss out next episode on shaping the future we aspire to. Ciao, ciao!